Wow, look at that beautiful sunset that we had last night in one of the best restaurants here in CDO.
I was looking at that beautiful Filipina. I didn't see a sunset. Dinner in Cagayan De Oro with a beautiful Filipino.
Yeah, come on, follow me. Hello everybody, welcome back to the new episode of Fly Me to the Philippines. Rob, last night we went with our friends to Costa Rosia. It is a beautiful restaurant here in Cagayan de Oro City, and we had a lot of fun.
You were walking down those stairs. What a gorgeous sunset. One of our favorite restaurants here in Cagayan de Oro, Mindanao. Join us today from our home overlooking the Cagayan de Oro River. And stick around, Chrissy's going to dance Zumba at the end of the video.
Yes, I can be. Today, we're going to talk about why and how you can retire rich here in the Philippines.
Show me the cash, Chrissy.
Show me the cash.
We're going to talk about what it is to be rich in the Philippines. You know, Chrissy, we interviewed our friend Ivan in our last video, and he said, don't retire to Miami Beach, retire to the Philippines. It's cheaper. You don't just have to come looking for a beautiful companion to live your retirement in. You can come with your wife or girlfriend, if you've already found somebody, and come to the Philippines and live your best life. And Chrissy,
show me the cash.
Chrissy, what's an average salary here in the Philippines for a police officer or a school teacher?
For the police officer, their monthly is 40,000 pesos, I think, but that's not fixed when they get it. And for the teacher, is 25 to 27,000 pesos only.
Right. So wages are really, really low here in the Philippines. You know, the cost of capital goods, cars, televisions, dishwashers, they're a little cheaper, but they're not to the same ratio cheaper that wages are. Wages are really, really low. And we're going to show you a chart here that shows what is considered lower class, middle class, upper middle class, and a really rich person would be someone who is considered to make over 220,000 pesos a month, which is approximately a little bit less than 4,000 US dollars per month would be considered rich. And according to Google, Chrissy, 61,000 US dollars in the bank would be considered what we in America might call a millionaire.
Oh, yeah. $61,000?
$61,000.
Well, that's a lot. You know, if I'm going to review myself before when I was working, I'm not even in the lowest degree of the wealth of the chart.
Right. So
the chart.
We have another chart here that shows the highest paying jobs here in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. And even people with college degrees, IT professionals, managers are only making 50,000 pesos a month, maybe like $875 a month. Really small wages in a month. A college-educated police officer, teacher, or even an IT professional. So the chart here is really eye-opening. So what it means for the average person in the West and why you might want to retire to the Philippines is because you can live an amazing life. We're living in a rental property, Chrissy, that if it was in California overlooking the Pacific Ocean, it would probably rent for 6, 7, 8,000 US dollars per month. We pay 50,000 Philippine pesos per month. Now, Chrissy, check out this chart. The dollar is very strong against the peso. It's about 57.6. The first month I paid rent in dollars, and it came to 891 US dollars. The next month it was 900 US dollars. Today's rate of conversion, my 50,000 peso rent would be only $867. So it's a $33 difference from when I paid my rent a couple of months ago. Just a 2 pesos per dollar difference can do that. Your dollar is going a long way here in the Philippines.
Yeah, that's why there's a lot of overseas Filipino workers that they are like watching the rate of dollars every day, because if it's high, they will send money from USA to the Philippines so that their family can receive it in a high volume.
And expats also, they transfer dollars here to the Philippines and pay in pesos. And when the dollar gets really high, you'll see on the Facebook groups, people will recommend sending dollars. Well, Ivan said Don't go to Miami. Don't think of these other places to retire. Come here to the Philippines. Houses in this subdivision are going to run about 15 million pesos and up. This is a bigger house, and the neighbor across the street's a big house, and it's on a prime lot. So you might pay 25 million pesos and up for this particular house. We did a video where we showed 25 rental properties.
Yes.
You can look at it here. We go through 25 different rental properties, starting as low as like $107 US a month, all the way up to 80,000 pesos a month, which nowadays is going to be around $1,300, $1,250 US for what looks like a mansion. So you might want to check that video out if you want to know what the cost of rental housing is. And then, Chrissy, we did another video on the cost of buying land and building your own home. And we have the cost per meter. And then Ivan, yesterday in that video, shared what he paid for land, what he paid for that farmland, what he paid for the land that he's living in the province for as well.
It's way cheaper when you compared it to the West, right?
Crazy cheap.
Yeah,
housing is your biggest single savings.
That's why there's a lot of people that will expect a Filipina to become rich when they marry a foreigner, because they will think that foreigner that will come here in the Philippines, they will be rich here in the Philippines.
Yeah, Chrissy, you know, we are bringing a little bit of a different point of view. We live in a 50,000 peso per month rental property. The really popular videos on YouTube talk about, how you can live for $600 US per month, how you could live for $1,000 US per month. What we're saying today is you could live like you're rich here in the Philippines on not too much more. If you were a husband and wife and you each got the average U.S. Social Security, that'd be $1,800 US each. That would give you $3,600 US to spend here, which would put you at about 200,000 pesos, which is almost that 220 that was in the chart for what's considered rich here in the Philippines. For the most part, you have a paradise weather. You're near the beaches. You're near all the amenities. And it's a great place to retire. And we're going to go through the budgetary items, and we're going to show you the money.
Rob, let's talk about our utility. How much does it cost in addition to our rental?
Sure. We published a full budget video from the last house we lived in. We kind of need to update it. But let's go through our utilities in this house. Our water bill is about $5.50 US. Per month. Our biggest utility bill is our high-speed internet. We pay for a premium internet. It's roughly $55 US per month, and we get 600 megabits down. I think megabytes down. And wireless, we get about 150 to 300. But if we're plugged into the LAN cable, we pay for that an extra $20 US per month. Normally, high-speed internet here is going to cost about $35, $37 US a month. We pay trash about $5.50 a month. We pay electricity is the one cost that's pretty normal. Now here on the ridge, we're at about 500 feet of elevation. Chrissy, do we normally use the air conditioner?
No, we don't normally use the air conditioner. Just right the moment we get a heat wave.
We have a heat wave. And we got hit with a big electrical bill because we had a party and we had 15 guests in the house, and we were running every air conditioner, and we didn't really care about the cost during that weekend. And boy, we got hit with a pretty big bill. But it'll average out over the year. Like right now, we're on the patio in the afternoon. It's quite pleasant.
Yes, it is really breezy out here.
Yeah, breezy out here.
Yeah. So I think we don't really pay much of the electricity when we're not using the air conditioning.
Yeah, well, it was $45 a month in electric, just for the security lighting and the other electric appliances and hair dryers and the dryer down. We have a full dryer downstairs as well. So without AC, it was $45 US for the month. If you had a family and you're running electricity during the hot season, you could pay up to $200 US in electricity.
And our kerosene is how much?
Propane, we paid about 1,200 pesos, so about $21 maybe.
And that will last until 2 to 3 months.
Transportation, Chrissy, is something that is people are kind of curious about. We don't have a car. We budget $100 US per month. Do you think we get around okay?
There are some months that we really went somewhere and we have to rent a car, and that cost us a lot of, that I think over the budget.
Yeah, it's going to cost $30 a day for a rental car, $50 for a big pickup truck that's really nice, or a van. Then you have to buy the gas and you know, wash the car when you return it.
Yeah, but occasionally, because most of the time we're just here making videos or staying at home, we enjoyed being together even when we don't go out. Right, so we don't really use up the 5,000.
But we made
budget.
We made a video called "Pay to Play," where we talk about the top 20 excursions here in Cagayan de Oro and what the entrance fees are. The entrance fees are crazy low, like $2. We were at the falls last week, and the entrance fees were very, very low, $2. Senior citizens even less. But you know, if you need a car or you're going to pay a taxi, we might have cost us $20 by taxi to get there. Which in the West sounds ridiculously cheap, but here it's a lot of money.
I know.
Because we pay $3 to go to the suburban mall and $3 back, $5 to go downtown to the big wet market, $6 to get to the Costco on the other side of town. And if we're not going to an excursion, if we're not renting a car, that's pretty much all we have in the way of transportation.
Yes, but you know, just not the same amount that you're gonna spend in the West. You can already enjoy yourself in a lot of activities here in the Philippines that you think only rich people can do.
There's a lot to do. Now, before we finish transportation, one of the options is just to buy a motorcycle or a scooter, buy a used one and use it for a year and sell it. You probably break even. You probably get almost what you paid for it back. You could buy a trike or a baja, sort of like a tuk-tuk, and you might spend maybe $3,000 US. And if you bought a used one and you drove it for a year or two, you could probably sell it for close to what you paid for it. They have something here, what's called a multi-cab, and that is a vehicle from Japan, a little small 3-cylinder engine. They chop it in 3 parts and they import it, and they claim that it's not a new vehicle, and then they weld it back together. Hopefully they do the welds right and it doesn't fall apart as you're driving down the road. But they're beautiful little minivans. They sell for 300,000 pesos. New, it was a little bit less than $6,000 US, maybe like $5,000 US. It's got a lot going on. And then people will buy used cars here. You can, if you find a car that was owned by an expat, because they'll maintain the cars, you know, you can get a small economy car used for $6,000 US, $8,000. We have a friend, he's got a beautiful Hyundai SUV diesel. I think he paid $12,000 US for that, and it's about an 8-year-old car, 10-year-old car. It drives like it's brand new. Yeah, really. And you need a good suspension if you really want to enjoy yourself on the roads. So that's your transportation costs here. As little as $12,000, you can get yourself a used SUV, and you know, we don't go long distances, but there tends to be a fair amount of traffic. People like the motorcycles because it gives them a lot of freedom and they can weave in and out of traffic. And there's a lot of motorcycle delivery services here because they can get to you quick.
Yeah, but it's more risky and dangerous.
It's risky
drive
and dangerous.
Here.
You got the chickens running on the road here.
And dogs.
So retirement, Chrissy, you mentioned there's a lot to do here, and there's a lot of expat bonding going on.
Yeah.
Let's just real quick take a look at our last week. We started off the week Monday. We have a regular card game here at the house, and we had, what's that? Is that the monkey? By the way, we saw a monkey at the pool last week. We'll just show you a second of video. So there's a lot of excitement here in the Philippines. I thought we heard a monkey here. So on Monday, we played cards. 5 of the guys get together, play cards. The gals get together and sing karaoke and make mango floats and shakes and things like that. Filipino desserts. They get to speak in Visayan and Cebuano. And then Tuesday, we made a movie, I think.
Yes,
so we stayed home. I think we went marketing maybe Monday morning. Wednesday, we made that last movie with the interview of Ivan. We went to, what's the name of the falls?
Bulao Cold Spring.
Bulao Cold Springs, Sinolum Falls.
Sinolum Falls.
And that's about 40 minutes south of where we are. It's so inexpensive. And then one of those cottages, what are those things called? Where to stay? A pavilion.
Cabana.
The cabana. The cabana cost $10. A small cabana was $10, and we shared it 3 ways. And there are waterfalls in every direction. Iligan, the city of waterfalls, 2 hours away. We've been there and shown you Tanago Falls. Up in the Buchanan Mountains, just off here to the right is the Buchanan Mountains. You know, I go up there to golf on. So Thursday we golfed. The next day we golfed. Chrissy came. You hit the driving range.
Yes.
You hit a few balls. How'd you do?
Oh, good. Better than the previous, hits.
So Thursday night, we launched our video where we interviewed our friend Ivan from New Jersey, who talks about what happened when he brought his Filipino back to the United States the first time 20 years ago and how that worked out not so well. And we published that video. And Friday, we were checking on to see whether anybody liked our video. And that was a day of rest, I think. And Saturday, we went out to in that scene everyone saw at the very beginning of the movie, and we'll show it again here, where Chrissy's walking down with the sunset behind her. We took some photos. We went to dinner at Cuesta Rosia with my golf buddies, and we had a really high-end restaurant with wine and sodas and beverages, and I had marlin and shrimp. What did you have?
Mixed grilled. It was really good.
Mixed grill. I had a salad. Pizza was served to one person.
It was a live acoustic while we're eating.
It was beautiful, live acoustic. And we'll show the menu right here. The name of the restaurant is Cuesta Rosia, and it's owned by some expats. And the view up there, look at these pictures we got from the view. And that was our Saturday. And today it's Sunday, and we are making another movie. We're filming and editing, and we'll publish, we hope, later tonight, your Sunday morning in the West. And
tomorrow we will have another.
Tomorrow we
party.
Our friend owns a coffee shop, the Artsy Cafe. It's about 15 minutes in one of the suburbs of CDO. And we're going to play cards there. And there's a new expat in town from England. Who's living in Cebu but thinking about moving to CDO. It might be Chrissy's video there on All About CDO.
Is he joining?
He's going to come and join us before we start playing cards and meet some of the guys. So there's expats coming to town. Some are coming for a couple months. Some are moving here permanently. And we're meeting new people all the time. The expat community is growing all the time.
One of the activities that retired expats here in the Philippines are the gathering, the expat gathering that they did once a month.
Once a month.
Yes. It is also helpful for the retired people here in the
And I felt rich. Last night, the cost of that meal, at Cuesta Rosia, 7 people, that spectacular view, really, really good food. I mean, a salmon cost $12, plate of salmon, $12. For 7 people, the total cost was 4,500 pesos, which is like $79, $78, something like that. It was crazy.
Not
7
much.
people and Jim was drinking wine, and so it was.
Yeah.
Everybody had a beverage, and it was just so reasonable. I felt like I was rich. And then we go to Inital Beach, an hour away. 10 of us expats. Last month we rented a pavilion. You chip in for the pavilion. You're a day at the beach. $10, $15 is your cost. The waterfall, the day trip we took last month, really transportation is your only cost to get into these places, just a few dollars.
Yeah. So you will feel rich here in the Philippines by doing all those activities.
Yeah, and then, the one thing that we haven't talked about yet is health care. So for less than $100, Chrissy gets her Phil Health coverage. And Ivan spoke yesterday on that interview. He said Alma had an operation on her leg, and it was pretty much free. It was just a nominal nothing cost. And it was like 2 hours of surgery in Cebu City. And he mentioned there's some good hospitals here. He's self-insured, and he had a knee operation. Now, he did have Phil Health, which cut back 30, 40, maybe even half the cost. And it cost him roughly $5,000 US with rehabilitation. You can feel pretty rich when it comes to healthcare, too.
Yeah.
So homes on the golf course. We have a friend, we showed that footage, we have a friend who bought a home at the water, and he bought the land, 1,000 square meters, he built the house. I think you could do that for equivalent of 150,000 US. You could do that.
Yeah.
I think you could find that here in the Philippines, probably less. Now, the other thing that makes you feel rich in the Philippines is, let's say you like to travel and you don't like to stay home. You don't want to just see the waterfalls and the beaches. We didn't talk about the Amaya view. We have these view resorts right across the river here. One is called Ultra Winds, and it's weekdays. It costs $4 per person to swim in these monster negative edge pools, and they have a restaurant there that's pretty reasonable. And then Amaya View, Chrissy was out there in her bathing suit, and they have a zoo and they have hanging bridges, and that's $10 per person to spend the day there and at their spectacular negative edge pool and see the zoo. And they have other things you can add on, like zip lining and paragliding even, I think. There's lots to do, but a lot of people want to travel. And we're going to be making a trip here in a month, soon. Someone's going to be watching our house, living here while we go on the road. And we haven't quite figured out. Comment below. Should we go to Baguio? Should we go to Iloilo and Puerto Galera? Should we go back to El Nido? Should we go to Boracay? Where would you like to see Chrissy and I on vacation? But we're going to hit the road. But the reason you feel rich, Chrissy, is we can fly nonstop to Iloilo for 2,000 pesos.
Very reasonable price.
It's less than $40 one way. Crazy cheap flights. And then to go to Vietnam, to go to Bangkok, to go to Kuala Lumpur, to go to Singapore, to fly to Tokyo is not too much money. You can easily do it for less than 200 round trip for most of these places if you catch it on sale. So if you want to explore Asia, boy, you can feel like you're a millionaire. You can feel like you're rich because you can eat out in good restaurants for a fraction of the cost. I golf. It cost me to golf on a gorgeous course. It's only like, including the caddy, it's like $16 plus the caddy is about $9, about $25 for a round of golf with a caddy. And what did you pay for the driving range the other day?
Well, you don't need to pay to go to the driving range. You just have to buy a set of balls.
And what was it?
I bought 2 buckets of balls, and it's 50 pesos each.
50
so
pesos
just 100
each.
pesos for the 2.
Yeah, so it's like $1, less than $1 each bucket of balls. It'll keep you occupied for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
What else can you think of, Chrissy? Anything that would make a Western man feel rich? I mean, the country's full of beautiful women, beautiful Filipinos. So if you're single, you are going to feel like you are on top of the world. You have status. You're the prize. You are the exotic one with all the life experiences. And younger women here, they don't have that age gap phobia here. They will see you as a really exotic and attractive catch. So you'll be rich in another way.
I don't feel rich because...
Well, why not?
I'm
Everything's
lonely.
so reasonable. Lonely? What do you mean?
Because you always loved me.
Well, Chrissy, I've started to do some consulting in the morning. I've been doing 6 to 10 hours a week of personalized consultation. And Chrissy's been invaluable because we had one client sent us a passport. The Filipina sent him a copy of her passport, and she was asking for a large amount of money for a sick relative. And I thought the passport looked pretty good, but Chrissy saw it, compared it to her own, and she called BS. She found 3 obvious counterfeit forgeries.
Yes, like right away I found it very fake, the passport. I remember, guys, I told you that to verify a person, you have to ask for a documents or IDs.
Yes.
But I forgot to tell them that they could also fake their IDs.
So would you say they have to hold it up? Like if they have the passport, have them hold it next to their face so you can see what's written on the passport.
Yes.
That's a physical document. Or they'll Photoshop it, right?
Yeah, but just seeing the IDs, don't believe that it's real. You have to really also see the details of the ID, if it's fake or it's really valid.
And Chrissy, I always say nobody wears clothing here. Like the men, like we went out to dinner last night. I put a collared shirt on it. Like I'm wearing one just because I'm on YouTube. But the men just wear T-shirts, shorts, and sandals.
Right.
Pretty much everywhere, every day. You really need no clothing. I mean, you could have one...
For men.
For men. We have what's called Lazada and Shopee here, and that's our version of Amazon. And things get delivered, collect on delivery, COD for $1 shipping. The shipping costs $1 typically.
It's very cheap.
And we don't prepay for anything. We have it all delivered to the door, and then we pay $1. We get our Thai curry paste delivered for $1 shipping. We bought headphones, 5 pairs of Samsung headphones for $5 US, including the shipping.
Yes, including the shipping.
Yeah.
It's not that convenient as Amazon in the US. Like after ordering
You don't get it in 24 hours. Yeah.
You'll not get it, but I think it's worth the wait.
It comes within a week typically.
Yes.
The most fun thing, the thing that makes me feel richest of all, though a really wealthy man, is having a beautiful woman like you sing karaoke 3 times a week. And what does that cost?
Zero.
Zero. So you come to the Philippines, you meet a Filipina, she sings karaoke 3, 4, 5 times a week.
It's a free entertainment.
It's free entertainment. Like sometimes when we play cards on Monday night, we break for dinner and we still have half the game left. And Chrissy's down there singing karaoke, and the guys, we'll join in and we'll sing karaoke. But watching Chrissy and some of the girls sing karaoke, it's like being at a lounge at the Holiday Inn or on a cruise ship at the bar, watching a real performer.
I think I should start charging you.
Our message, Chrissy, is retire rich in the Philippines. With the typical U.S. Social Security of $1,800, you are going to feel like you are upper middle class. If you have an additional pension, if you have some assets set aside, remember, 220,000 pesos, I think that's less than 4,000 US dollars a month. You are considered in like the upper 1% of Filipino society. You would be considered rich here in the Philippines. Come here, get your restaurants at 1/3 the normal cost, go to the waterfalls, go to the beach, play golf for a fraction of what it costs at home. Enjoy your life. Get together with the expat. Come to the Philippines, Chrissy.
Yes.
And live like you're rich.
So there you have it, guys. Till next time.
From Fly Me to the Philippines.
See you on our next
Stick around. Chrissy's going to dance Zumba for you.
Oh, yeah, right.